Bison football team put on a show in front of their home fans this past weekend and have a chance to do the same thing when they play in the Fargo Dome again this week. There's another reason to be excited for this matchup. The Bison prepare for their first ever contest against their newest conference rivals. After taking care of business against Western Illinois to the tune of a 52-7 win, the Bison now welcome Murray State into town. The Racers are smack dab in the middle of their first season as members of the Missouri Valley Football Conference, now head to the Fargo Dome for the very first time. The Racers were members of the Ohio Valley Conference for the past 75 seasons before joining the Missouri Valley. Head coach Matt Enns talked about getting ready to play a brand new opponent as we approach the final 4 games of the regular season.
Anytime you play someone that you've never played before, I go back to the energy level and the excitement of our team. This is one of the unique years, our non-conference. We played 2 of the 3 we had never played before, or at least in my time here, last 10 years we hadn't played those teams. So I think that always drums up some excitement or some question marks out there too.
The Bison are also looking to keep some momentum going after they got back in the win column last weekend. They moved up to 11th place in the FCS coaches poll and 12th in the media poll after that win. They can get some more movement against Murray State on Saturday. After an emotional win over their biggest rivals, the North Dakota Fighting Hawks suffered a loss on the road to Northern Iowa on Saturday. That continues a trend with the Hawks this season and in the past few years. While they're undefeated in the friendly confines of the Alerus Center this year, all 3 of their losses have been on the road, first falling at Boise State, then in Brookings, and now most recently in Cedar Falls. A couple members of the UND roster gave some insight to these road issues and how they're looking to fix it.
I think we got to do a better job and just be more mature on the road and just know that even if something goes wrong, we're still a really good team, and we got to keep fighting, and we got to keep that belief in ourselves at all times. We can't go out there and after we get punched in the mouth, just go out there and lay down. We got to be prepared for a fight, and I think as a team we're really going to grow and mature, and we're going to take a look at that, and we're going to take a look at the mirror, and I think we're going to get better.
Thankfully for the Hawks, they now get to play their next game in the Alerus Center. They host the Indiana State Sycamores on Saturday. They defeated Indiana State 42-7 last season. Speaking of UND, for the second consecutive week, North Dakota netminder Ludwig Pearson has been named the NCHC Goaltender of the Week. Pearson was between the pipes for both games over the weekend against the top-ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers. He finished the weekend stopping 49 of the 53 shots fired his way. He's now 3-1 on the season and holds a 1.51 goals against average, leading the conference in both of those categories. The now 4th-ranked UND hockey team will be at home again this weekend, hosting Minnesota State. Big matchup there on Friday and Saturday. Real quickly here, the Minnesota Vikings putting their primetime woes behind them tonight, handing the San Francisco 49ers just their second loss of the season. Kirk Cousins had himself a day, throwing for 378 yards and a couple of scores. First-round pick wide receiver Jordan Addison out of UFC Fight On introduced himself as well. 7 catches for 123 yards and both of those touchdowns. The Vikings now head to Green Bay on October 29th for a matchup with the Packers. It's my mom's birthday.
Cousins has had some grief for not